Okay. Well, hello everyone. Here in Holochain number whatever, we are going to look at how to update the HDK docs. Veterans are going to be helping me to update the HDK doc for a common operation, which means to uh, unwrap DHT elements into native Rust objects. And yeah, am I missing anything? Anything to add? No? Okay. Let's share my screen. And I totally forgot my GitHub account. Okay, I'm just gonna forget about that. So the HDK Rust, it says it's been moved, but I don't see this one. Is this the right one?
So let's see. So we're gonna update some HDK docs, and that's in the main Holochain repo. I'm not sure what this repo is, to be honest.
Okay. Okay, so it's in here then, right?
Yeah, I think in the crates directory, there's a crates HDK. And so we were talking about doing the entry get, so that would probably be an entry.
Okay. Entry.
You could search for FN. Yeah, there you go, function get. And so all those comments just above the get are the comments you see in the HDK, of course.
Okay. This is, okay, so it's the comments above, right? Okay. Cool. So how should we do this? Should I just open up a pull request?
I'd suggest doing it locally, because then you can run cargo doc, which will generate the HTML docs, and you can make sure that your docs look good.
Okay.
So clone the repo would be the first step.
Let me start a new terminal. Okay. Okay. And grapes. Okay. So just add it here then, right?
Yeah, that's right. And you remember we were looking at another function and it had a code example. Maybe we could copy that code example, because that'll at least show us, what the probably just markdown formatting is for the code. But
Right. That was create.
oh yeah.
Create entry. Okay. Okay. So there we go. see if I could get the other one. Okay. So I'll just use this right here as a template. Actually, just this entire thing is pretty good.
And Imran, if you can open also the link of GetEntry that the people can see that they are connected. It is this link also would be great. Just I share. Yes.
The link of GetEntry, like this
Yes,
one?
yeah, exactly. I just wanted to that people can see the description at the top of GetEntry. It is here. Just we are going to update this section. Yes.
Right, yeah. Okay. Okay. That. Okay. Feel free to just tell me if I'm doing anything wrong or anything.
In these examples, it might be good to be specific about the type. For example, in element, what is it getting back? Because our Rust analyzers are really good at telling us, but for the example, it might be good to be specific.
Yeah. Let's try. I have to find out myself. Let's type element. Trash there. Okay. So should we break it down here? What each, because this is pretty loaded, right? Like, should we break it down that, okay, this provides a result, then we use the question mark to get the entry from the result, and then we convert it to an option?
Yeah, I think so. A nice way to do that would be just through variable names, making intermediate variables that
Right, okay.
places of comments.
Right. This should be of type. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, it's really quiet. Do you guys want me to talk it through while I do it, or anything we could add on top?
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, yeah, it's a pretty straightforward thing.
Semicolon at the end of line 216.
I think.
16. Nice catch. Thank you.
I suggest to write two version, one line, the original version, and because the original version is kind of a developer tasty, easy one that mostly we are writing in that format. But this one, it is unwrap and unfold format. It is when we are learning how the things is happening, you know?
Yep.
So I would suggest let's have example 1, example 2, and the first one can be the basic, and second one can be, hey, just you can copy and paste this one. It is the same. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, it sounds pretty reasonable. It'd be good to see how it's broken down, and then for the people that just like want to use it, just do like a copy and paste, and that's available too.
Convert B of type. And I don't know what type that would be. Okay.
So Imran, it seems to me like there's an error on 217. Let's see. So in 216, our type is a result, which is either an option or a WASM error. And then we apply the question mark, which is unwrapping our result and only giving us the success part, right?
Right.
I think the type there should just be option brackets element.
Yep. Thanks for that. Good catch.
Right.
Okay. All right, there we go. Then, as I had mentioned, we'll do the one-liner.
Can we mention example option 1, for example, example 1, example 2?
Okay, and then this is the part that I want to look at.
Can I suggest something before you go there, Imran?
Yeah.
It's just that after this, I'm going to suggest we do cargo doc, and it's going to take kind of a long time. So I just suggest you do that now, cargo doc, and so it can roll in the background, and then it'll be faster when we actually want to update the docs.
Okay.
That's actually in the crates HDK directory that you want to run that.
Okay, and do I need to open a Nix shell as well?
No.
No?
And just try cargo space doc if you've got your Rust toolchain.
I don't have Rust. I just realized, yeah.
Let's see.
If you have a Nix shell, okay, go to Nix shell. If you don't have a cargo here, I think if you inside the Nix can be working also.
Good work.
Yeah, okay. Might take a while.
Do you have any other project with a Nix shell installed? Do you have any Nix shell is already? It takes a lot of time in that way. If you have any project with a Nix shell, actually, how can I say, with a Nix shell that you run before, you can easily go there and come here, cargo, to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, this, I haven't opened this in a while.
Yeah, that should be all right. Then you can just CD to your holochain from there.
Okay. Breakaway. So I just have to change the version and the.
Oh, sorry, I missed the error.
Oh, it's saying here that I have to update the versions for layer key store and the cargo and the binaries, which I don't have. Yeah, this is the old school version. Okay, I think it'll be better to just go to the previous one. Sorry guys, I was not ready for demonstrating on my laptop.
That is beautiful. We are just enjoying the things and to see the things happening organically. Amazing. Adam, if you have it, I don't right now have it. If you had it before and we can rely on your caching for the cargo, please just run it and we can transfer the code on your PC and so run it there. Do you have it before?
Pardon me?
No, Harlan.
What's the question?
The question that if you have the main holochain repository just running on your computer with the history of a cargo doc, it is already cached. We can rely on your computer. It is faster. We can.
Sure, that'd be fine.
Yeah,
why don't we finish writing docs on Imran's machine, and if we need to, we can paste it over to my machine to compile them.
Yeah, that's a better idea. Let's do that. Object. Find as struct. Okay. Okay. So this is what I have. Hey, Dad, do you think I should break it down here as well?
I think it is good enough if you would like. I think it's good enough. Right now, it's okay. It's enough.
Alrighty.
Let's complete the whole process that we can have it, and even we would like to improve it, we can do it later on.
Okay. I don't know if I'll copy and paste that nicely, but Helen, you want to give that a try on your computer?
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah. Stop sharing now.
We're copy pasting code over Zoom chat. Do you want to make me the host or whatever is needed?
You are.
All right. All right, that looks like it worked okay. Let me share my screen. Make this a little more reasonable sized. Oops, that's not it. That's not it. How you work this thing? Okay. So I just pasted in the code from Imran, the comments, and let's get those in the right place.
Oh, for the last line, 17, entry, I think it should probably be renamed to like native object or something, just to not confuse with the entry type.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so here we have the code docs. Okay, so let's go ahead and cargo doc this and see
Before
what it
you
looks
do that, I think we might need 3 backticks right at the end of the comments so it wraps it all on a code block.
like. Nice. So I'll navigate to the crate, HDK, and then cargo doc. In this case, I'm not in a Nix shell, and so it's just using my native Rust toolchain, but should work equally well in a Nix shell.
So what's the output of cargo doc? Is it a markdown file or HTML, or what's it outputting?
HTML, let's take a look at it. It's a great prompt. Let's see, so let's do, so if we go back to the root of our Holochain repo. Open target doc HDK index.html. And so this is our locally compiled cargo docs at my local path. And let's see, I'm used to having some navigation here about getting to the entry. I'm not sure why that's not happening, but let's try anyway. An alternate route. And so here is Imran's documentation, looking very official and color coded.
Look at that. Nice.
Great job. Great.
Beautiful.
job. Imran Harlan, great job.
So, let's see. Let's just try to get these both on screen at the same time. And and do a little editing. So one thing I noticed was that this top line of the code block didn't look right, and the EG somehow needs its own line. Maybe like that for Markdown magic. Example one. I would love it if these examples had a space before them, just preference. And other than that, anybody else see anything they want to change? Let's recompile.
Yes, that's amazing. Let's finish the whole cycle and process. It means create, so doc and send a pull request, and also we can ping the team that, yes, amazing.
Yeah, well, there's one other thing. I definitely want to do that. Eric mentioned putting an assert in there to make sure that we're getting the thing that we expect. And I know that the doc examples can also be run as tests, maybe called doc tests. And so I think if we just put an assert in, and I suspect remove the ignore, although I'm not sure of that part, is what would get it to run as part of the automated test suite. But at least let's try the assert, and let's try running it locally. Go ahead, Hidayat.
I suggest let's finish this cycle. Let's wrap it up for today, for this session that anybody can do. We can do it later, or you feel it's worth it to also go for assert. What do you think, guys?
I'm open. What do others prefer?
I have a preference for actually doing maybe a type check in the assert, just because I think it would be nice to compile it all together, or just put everything together, because it's part of the process that I think we want to establish as best practice.
Go ahead for it, Harlan, please.
Okay, so if we look at the one-liner, we're getting an entry hash. And so what Eric suggested was we actually get the entry hash of the thing that we are putting when we do the create, and we get it back. So in function create, we have no example. Here's another function create. That's where our example is. So this is the struct that we're making in create. We won't paste the whole thing in, but we'll just use that for ideas. Function get. Okay. So we will, oh, nice. When I hit enter, I just get more blank. So we will need entry, but not the create. but we would need to know the hash if we were going to actually get it.
Right, so we should probably hash foo50 and then hash the native object and then do a assert equals between those.
Yep. We need like a holochain REPL kind of thing.
Yes,
So-
yeah, I love the idea of a holochain REPL.
Okay, so let's see. If I'm just trying to think of like, do I have a blank project like Imran's exercises where I could go get the hash? And then I'm thinking maybe hApps was right. Maybe we should just do the short version and push what we've got. What do you think, Imran? Do you want to hash that on your side? Does anyone have a convenient?
I could do something.
Paste this code into our chat. To do the hashing, the hash power for me. Okay, so I'll go ahead and write some of the docs while we're getting the hash. I'm gonna have this create, but we are gonna have this struct so that we can see what we're up to here. Okay, so we're already getting a foo, and the foo that we're gonna get, I'm gonna start with the compact one. We're gonna say that entry hash equal is a hash of string. We'll see. So I'm just going to get my HDK explorations into repo back to a reasonable state so I can do a little REPL in there to REPL.
So I just pasted some code into the hash that I think will do what we want to do. Missing a bracket.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Missing, yeah, missing a bracket on line 4 there after the 50.
Let me, see, let me paste what you sent. And then on the 4th line of what you sent, we're missing a bracket. Yes, got it.
Native, yeah, line 240, it's native underscore object. I forgot what it was called. Native, yeah, hash entry on native object.
Okay. You know, I rethought the create entry. I think that if we want this to be able to run as a doc test, then we do need to include create entry, because otherwise it won't be available when we try to get it. And in that case, that means that we could just say let entry hash equal, right?
That returns a header hash, no? Not the entry hash?
Right. But we can use that for our get as well.
Yeah.
And so if we, oops, we won't replace everything in the whole holochain code base. We'll just fix up our examples. Okay. So make this bigger again. So now Now we're doing it.
But Harlan, so if we use the header hash when we get, we still need to add another step then, right? Because once we get the header, we got to get the entry hash from the header struct, right?
So the get function actually accepts an entry hash or a header hash. So we can just pass the header hash directly to get.
Okay.
Does that seem like it's as useful for the docs? Maybe we would have another example later where we'd also have an entry hash, but
Yeah, maybe you could just add that header hash or entry hash can be used interchangeably.
sure, it's already at the top of the.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect. There it is. Okay.
Okay, so we've got the header hash. Now we're doing the get on it, and the thing we want to, but if we want to assert something, then it would be, yeah, when we get the element, then we can assert that it is actually 50, right? What is this? Oh, right, it's after we unpack it into a foo. This is all example 2. Let's see. So this is the code you pasted me, Shane. Let foo hash, hash entry, let native hash, hash entry, assert equal. Okay, great. So let's at least.
At the end of line 237, we should be hashing entry of, we should be hashing native underscore object. Forgot to put the object in there. Yeah, cool. So if it's the same number, then the hashes should be the same too.
So just a quick question. If we're unpacking an element from header hash, would the element not unpack into a header instead of foo? I just went through the docs. I'm not sure, but it seems like that's what would happen, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
In any case, it would be good for us to run this code so we're sure that it's working before we submit it as example documentation. So maybe we should go back to a running, we'll go back to a repo where we can run the code and make sure it works, and then we can just paste it in directly. Let's see. Let's see how we're doing here. Run test. That doesn't take 30 years.
Well, that's going. Has anyone else used the extension code? Let's see, Code Together for VS Code.
I've used the live share.
Not familiar with that one, but some kind of tool where more than one of us can just be working simultaneously on the code, especially for these Holochain-in-Actions, could be really powerful. So that we're not like, hey, go down to line 243 and add that in. No, go back one. That kind of stuff could level up our coding together.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Set that up offline and get it working before we bring it into a recorded session.
Amazing. We will install and do it in the of time when we are not recording, and we will use
Yeah,
it. I
for
love
sure.
it. Thank you, Shane. Thank you.
Mhm.
In the case, we're getting an element, or so I believe, whatever kind of hash we pass in. This is entry get. Yeah. I'm hopeful that we're returning the same type, no matter what kind of hash we're passing. And so if that's the case, then we've got our native object. And what we want to assert is really that the native object, which is a foo, is 50. Native object dot 0, maybe. Do you think that's the right way to unpack this struct with a dot 0? I think so. I think this is a one element tuple, essentially.
Oh, you're trying to get the actual value inside?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't remember.
Okay. Let's go through, let's try to finish on time. Let's go through the exercise of pull requesting this. We'll mark it as a work in progress, and make sure to come back and check the code, etc. But I think it'll be really useful to go through the entire process. Cool. So we're going to make a branch off development. Let's look at the kind of branches. Get branch remote. Let's look at the kind of branch names that folks are using, because different projects use different branches. Doesn't look like there's a strong convention that I can see. Let's see if any of them have doc. Great. So we'll just do something like
Harlan, if you can maximize when you are typing your code, and it would be fantastic also.
You mean make it bigger?
Yes, when you are typing your code, yes, that the viewer can see it actually.
Wow, yeah. I thought I somehow like, yeah, there we go. I hit Command plus a few times, so eventually it might get much bigger.
And if you type the code in the middle of the screen, it would be really good, because right now it is in the bottom and it is not easy to catch it up. Thank you.
Looks like my machine is struggling a bit. Okay.
Killing, yeah, just killing your console actually. Yes, always killing, and when it's going down, please just killing. Thank you. Go ahead.
Of course, thank you. So we're going to create a new branch, and it's going to be about docs. Docs for get. Make sure our diff looks reasonable. Great. It's just that bad boy. Kind of looks like we've got an extra new line in there. Okay. Let's do cargo doc one more time. Make sure it looks reasonable. All right. Assume it looks reasonable. And commit message will be add examples or entry get. And let's see. So I've got my own fork at HTW. So I'll get push W head. Cool. And so it gives us a link that we can click on to open the pull request. Oops. And make sure to mark this a draft, and we'll say not ready for merge. You know, I'm not going to click the actual create pull request button, but just because I don't want to create mess, create something that's not ready for folks to look through. But that's the last step, is that we would create a pull request or a draft pull request. And then these docs would be ready to merge as soon as they're merged to develop and a new HDK version is released. Those would then appear on the HDK docs site.
What was the reason? Let's do it. Let's create a draft because it is the draft. What is the feeling to not do that actually? Yes, amazing. Let's have a finished. Nice job that you've done, guys.
Show you guys the PR. Should have given credit. What's your GitHub username, Imran?
It's Axue, AXHUE.
Like that?
Oh, I did not know you could credit people like that in a pull request. Huh. Perfect.
Let's just make sure. Looks like you. Great. All right, done.
Nice job. Thanks, Harlan.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
incredibly helpful.
Cool.
And that was amazing practice.
Mhm.
That was amazing practice. That to see it happening, it's really beautiful because we need to continue this practice later on. More than example, we are going to talk about a more feature on a holochain. Somehow the branch is going to be there, and I really would love to continue with you all and others to have a collaboration and sending as a community. So it was amazing. It was amazing. So, but before anything else, Harlan, the things is building. Do you have any fresh news you would like to give us about the running assert, or it is enough?
The only thing I want to say is that you know, the reason we did this session, I don't think we really said it clearly at the beginning, is because Holochain is an open source project. It needs our help. The docs need our help. And so we're trying to provide the pathway for everyone to be empowered to add docs when they see that they're missing. And you know, if we just rely on core team to, if we say, hey, that's core team's job, they won't be as good as if we can all pitch in and help.
Well said. Yeah.
That was amazing. We will continue this pattern more and again and deeper, and with a little bit even somehow more toolings. As Shane mentioned, we can have some tooling to facilitate this pair programming. I really enjoy this session. By the way, for the people who are watching, as I always mention, the meeting that we have, it's longer than recorded. We were not supposed to generally record something, or as you saw, it was unprepared pair programming, something for a documentation. So, but all of a sudden we start just recording and we press the record button. That's it. If you would like to also send any pull request, warm welcome. We did in action one of them. Thank you, Imran. It was amazing idea that you open and just everything is just come. I love such sort of things. And thanks to others, Harlan and Shane. And for me, it was really beautiful. That being said, let's see what's gonna up in the next session that we see each other. We love you. Take care. And to the next time.
Take care, everyone.